So, greetings once again. So, welcome back after the short break. So, let's start our next session, which is on SAR criteria 4, 5, 6, and 7. And the current session will be delivered by Professor K. Sudhakar Reddy sir from MGIT Hyderabad. So, I would like to request Professor Sudhakar Reddy sir to take the session forward.
Thank you, madam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, madam. Komal, madam.
Yes, sir.
Is it visible, madam?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay. Audio is okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, madam. Thank you, one and all. Good afternoon. Thank you once again for showing the interest for attending the session also. As we have discussed the criteria 2 of NBA SR yesterday, and remaining part of the task given to me for the criteria 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, these are the, I think third criteria was already discussed by some other expert.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That was covered by Professor Akshay Gidar, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay. Therefore, I will be discussing the how to fill the SAR. My emphasis will be for the newcomers, those who are planning to go for NBA accreditation, and then how to prepare the documentation, how to fill the NBA SAR, and how to collect the data from the stakeholder like students and the collecting the achievements of the faculty, etc. will be discussing today. Okay. Then the self-assessment report, criteria 4, 5, and 6, 7. Then as we have discussed yesterday, the criteria 4 is the student's performance. As you know, the NBA SAR is fully outcome-based education and it is fully student-centric achievements. Therefore, we will be discussing the student's performance in criteria 4. And fifth criteria is the faculty contributions, faculty information and contributions. And sixth criteria is facilities and technical support, which are available in the particular department, those who are planning to go for a particular program in the accreditation. And the seventh one is the continuous improvement over the previous academic years. And these four criteria we'll be discussing briefly today. Okay, these are the 8th, 9th, 10th. As I told you, this is for the first year academics and the institutional governance and financial resources. Then fourth criteria, students' performance. Then most of the people are aware of the NBA self-assessment report, and the format is known to everybody. And here you have to be very careful while filling the students' data. This is related to the students' data because most of the colleges, when we visit the departments, they are unable to provide the correct data of the students. And because NBA expects the last 3 academic years number of students on rolls, number of students passed in the corresponding academic years, and number of students cleared with backlogs, number of students cleared without backlogs, etc. And number of students readmitted, number of students joined from the other institutions. Okay, this particular data has to be kept very carefully by the department. In most of the departments, most of the colleges, and they will be running here and there to get the proper data and giving the incorrect data to NBA. Therefore, we are forced to correct some of the times, especially this particular data. Right. Then the important aspect, what are the documents required actually? As you know, first point is sanctioned intake of the program. Sanctioned intake of the program is by AICTE. This is AICTE sanctioned. That is why we have to keep the AICTE document with us. Then AICTE EOA, that we have to keep for the last 3 academic years. Then here CAY is the current academic year, CAY M1 is the current academic year -1, current academic year -2. Assuming, okay, just for your idea only, I am explaining, current academic year is 2020-21, then this is 2019-20, this is 2018-19. That means we have to maintain these 3 academic years data. Suppose if you are applying for NBA accreditation next month, for example, then you have to be ready with the data related to the students. Okay, we are discussing the students' criteria. Then students' sanctioned intake maybe 60, and it was at 2018-19 maybe 60. Then it might have increased it to 120 here, and might have increased it to 120 in this. Therefore, you have to be very careful. And when the sanctioned intake increased, then you have to be careful with the corresponding academic years. Okay, in second year, how many students are there total? In third year, how many are there? In final year, how many students are there on rolls? That data, most of the people will be confusing at the time of NBA inspection. Okay, here this is the from the AICTE data. What is the sanctioned intake? As you know very well, it is an easy thing. Then total number of students admitted in first year minus number of students migrated to other programs, institutions, plus number of students migrated to this program, that we have to write, like maybe very few numbers here. Admitted in first year minus number of students migrated numbers you have to write in this. Okay, if nothing is there, just you put the dash. Okay, don't put 0 here, put the dash. The number of students admitted in second year in the same batch via lateral entry. This is important. Number of students admitted in second year. That means we call this is the lateral entry students. Lateral entry students are there. Suppose if you are going for NBA accreditation in the current academic year 2021, and previously at least 3 years back, the lateral entry admission was 20%. Now it is only 10%. Lateral entry admissions is 10%. Then you have to add the number of students in the corresponding year. And you see here, same batch. Number of students joined in the same batch. That is important. Same batch, you have to add this many numbers. That means if the intake is 60, then it is, if the intake is 120, here it is 12. If the intake is 120, it is 12. If the intake is 60 here, it is 6 only. Okay, just for your idea. And separate division students, if any applicable. If it is applicable, you write it. Otherwise, you write NA, not applicable. Okay. Then total number of students, you write N1, N2, and N3 values you write here. Okay, this is the very basic data. And because in NBA, because as you know, the application is online application. Whatever the data you write, numbers, numerical numbers you give, format will take, the software will take these numbers automatically and will do the further calculations. Okay, that is why.
Sir, one doubt. Last year, 19 and 20, they admitted 120. This year only lateral entry students will come for the same batch.
Correct. There only have to add.
But same 21 first year, 2021 second year, you cannot add it.
Yes, you have to add in the next previous year only.
So that is the first, in the current year, there will not be any admission into lateral entry current batch because the students are there right now. So first will always be.
Yes, that is why you have to add that lateral entry students to the corresponding batch, to the second year students only. They are joining in second year, then you have to add to second year students only. That is the meaning of same batch here. Okay. That is the meaning of the same batch. Okay.
Sir, sanctioned admission or students, number of students admitted?
Number of students admitted. You see, sir, here admitted.
So 12 maybe or 8 may be admitted.
Maybe,
so
that is full percentage. I wrote it. Okay, actual numbers only. NBA takes the actual number of students admitted in courses. Okay, that I will show you while calculating SFR. Okay, sir. Then going to the next table. This is again very important table here. The number of students, you can take the table like this here. Then N1 plus N2 plus N3, as you have defined above in the previous slide. Then here, this is the number of students who have successfully graduated without backlogs in any semester or year of study. This is a very important data. You have to keep it ready for all the academic years. Then, for example, current academic year is 2021. Okay, then you write the minus 1 is 2019-20. Okay, here 6 are there. Actually, it should be 7 tables here. Always 7 tables will be there. Right? LYG M1, LYG M2, LYG M2. Okay, 3 things are there. Then you write the corresponding years and you write the numbers here. Okay. Then while writing also, you can write separately. Suppose N1 is 60 plus 1 plus 2 something. N3 is lateral entry students, therefore 5 students are admitted. Like that, you can fill this data for clarity. Then among them, how many students have cleared the without backlogs, you can write. In the first year, therefore in current academic year, suppose we will not get the results, for example, then this will be vacant. Then the remaining years, you can go on writing here the filled data. Therefore, here, these 3 rows are important here. These 3 rows, the final data is required to calculate further their success index, etc. Okay, if you see their success index, you see next important point. Okay, we'll come back to this table here later.
Sir, one doubt. Sir, one doubt. First year means first semester, second semester. Put together, we got right. First semester IAS, he can clear in the second semester. We can write it without backlog.
Yes, yes. Because here, what we can able to do is once he cleared with even with the supplementary exams also, before going to next year, you can count him.
Okay.
Like that. Okay, sir. Then going to the next enrollment ratio, which is very important, carries 20 marks. This is carries 20 marks. Then here, the evaluator only will check the actual number of students admitted. That is why you have to keep the authenticated papers for the presentation to the evaluators or to submit in the NBA SAR. Then what is the authenticated data? Suppose if you are the affiliating university, then DTE, technical education data sent by the technical education, that you have to show as a proof. Okay. Then here, based on that, the enrollment ratio N1 by N, actual number of admitted to number of sanctioned intake. Then if the students percentage admitted is above 90%, you will get 20 marks as it is. If the admitted percentage 80%, you will get 18 marks accordingly. Okay. Then if it is less than this, you see 0 marks only. But of course, now NBA minimum requirement is 50% admission is required for any course to be accredited. Right? This is a general table here. Then going back to the next table, as we have seen in the previous second slide, then you just enter based on the current academic year -1, current academic year -2. Okay, then you write this. If nothing is there, you write nil, etc., etc. Then you see here, you have to fill the data like this. Then 100 plus 0 plus 0, 100 plus 24 plus 0. That means if they are there, you write it, because you will also get some clarity. Then how many number of students belongs to N1, N2, N3. Then you can keep the record perfectly. You see here, there are 7 rows are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Therefore, the 7 rows should be there, current academic year. And here it is mentioned 2 times here. Then M1, M2, M3, M4, M5, M6 actually. CAY, M6, LYG, M2. Right? Then you see here, this particular 3 rows data is important. That means you are taking the students who have graduated from a particular program for the 3 years. For NBA, will take the 3 years assessment data to give the to award the marks accordingly. Right? Then you see, based on this, the success index, etc., will be calculated here. Then that is with backlogs and without backlogs. Number of students successfully graduated, including the students with backlogs, stipulated period of study. That means in within the 4 years of study, how many students have graduated is this table. Within 4 years of study. That means you might have failed in the second year, might be before entering into third year, you might have cleared all the subjects. Therefore, and by suppose you might have failed in third year, might have entered into fourth year. By the time he is leaving the fourth year, you might have cleared all the subjects. Therefore, that numbers you should write here. Okay, this is the important thing. For this carries the marks in the corresponding tables. Right. Then again, it is also same thing here. Then success rate.
We have to add with backlog also in this table.
Yes, with backlog, but must be cleared.
Hello.
Before passing, before completing the final year.
With first with backlogs, without backlogs 20, with backlogs 40. So we have to add 60 or 40 in this table.
Full total.
Sir, with backlog, without backlog 20 passed first year.
Yes.
Okay. And next year comes out, they will pass all the 40. Okay. In this table, with backlogs, we have to add 60 or only 40. That's a doubt.
60.
So both we
60.
have to add. Cumulative.
Yes.
Cumulative we have to add.
Yes.
Go to the slides.
Then finally,
okay.
Finally, all the subjects, that numbers you have to enter in this table. That is important. Okay, sir. You might have failed in the subsequent years. In the first year, second year, third year, you might have failed, but cleared in subsequent semesters. Then you write the total number of students who cleared, including backlogs, who cleared with backlogs also. That number you have to enter in this table. Okay, sir. Then based on that, now we have to estimate the success index of these students. Okay, mean success index 25 into average success index. Okay, the tables are there. You see here, number of students who have graduated from the program without backlog. The number of students admitted in the first year of that batch and admitted in second year via lateral entry. As we have seen in the first table, then based on that, you have to calculate the success index here. Then success rate in a stipulated period of time. As I told you just now, it is within the stipulated period of time how many students have cleared it. The number of students who graduated from the program in the stipulated period of course duration. That means we call it is a 4 years duration. And number of students admitted in the first year of that batch and admitted in second year via lateral entry students. Okay, this n by n1 for example. Then you calculate the mean success index for the 3 years, and that is the average success index 15 into average success index. Then you will get the corresponding marks here. Then academic performance third year 1.5 into average academic performance index. That means what is this average academic performance index? Mean of third year grade point average of all successful students on a 10-point scale, is it not? Or mean percentage of marks of all successful students in third year into number of successful students by number of students appeared in the examination. Okay, a simple meaning is there. Then all the successful students you add it and divide it by 10 and by total number of students, and most of the time you will get this is around 0.6 to 0.7 in most of the colleges. Okay, sometimes 0.75. Okay, you will be getting that much, right? Then in the second year, similar thing in the second year, and again here also you will be getting around 0.6 to 0.7, right? Then mean of the second year here. Then coming back to the important aspect of this, placement and higher studies and entrepreneurship activity. And most of the colleges, as you know, there will not be any data to substantiate their claim. Oh, my 90% students are got placements in good companies, they will tell. Then based on the perception only, they will fill this particular table. But NBA visiting committee will not accept without documentary evidences or to support your claim. Therefore, total year, important aspect is total number of students in final year. Suppose 60 students have joined in the first year, and there might be 50 students in final year. Okay, then you have to write 50 students here, then 48 students here, then 52 students here. Then for this, you have to show the proof, because based on these numbers, if you decrease these numbers, what happens? You will get the more marks. You will get more marks for the same percentage of placements. Then you have to show the documentary evidence. That means the roles list and the blue book or the attendance sheet, etc. You have to present the proof of the number of students in the final year. That is important for NBA. Okay, the number of students placed in companies or government sector, X. You are writing the X. Then students placed maybe on campus or off campus. On campus or off campus. On campus or off campus students. Then you need not to mention here. Therefore, put together on campus plus off campus students, you can put it here. Then you write, suppose after 50, for example, 30 students here, 40 students here, then 35 students here. Then number of students admitted to higher studies with valid qualifying scores like GATE, GRE, TOEFL, or CAT, or PG entrance. PG entrance conducted by the respective universities. You have to show this proof, and you also have to show their admit card. You have to show the admit card, because most of the colleges they're unable to present these proofs. Therefore, the NBA evaluator, based on the number of hard copy proofs available, only that many numbers he will take. Suppose you might be claiming here it is 15, 15 and 15 here with proofs. Therefore, if you do not show the proof, only if you are showing for 5, here may be 8, here may be 6, then you will be taking this many number of valid qualifying scores. Then here, number of students, here also you have to show the valid offer letters. You have to show the valid offer letters. Valid means most of the people will try to present some invalid offer letters. Valid offer letters you have to present. Okay, the original is okay, or email proof from the company, email proof of selection, email proof of selection of the students by a particular company. Suppose TCS company is there, then you have to show the official TCS email received to the placement officer. Therefore, students number 10 students are placed in a computer science program. Therefore, the 10 students' name should be mentioned here. Okay, that type of proof also is a valid proof, and you can present it. Then number of students are turned entrepreneurs. Then you write maybe year 0, year 1, 2, year 2. Then it is becoming, then valid proofs 2 and 0, year 35 and year 50, then 8 plus 43. Then you calculate the by n, then 35 by n year. Okay,
sir,
simple.
1 year later he is joining higher studies, where we have to enter. 1 year later. Passing in the 2000, he joined in next year because of financial concern. He will, otherwise good college is not getting. He will join next year. Where we have to add?
You have to add in that corresponding academic year only. You have to add in the corresponding academic year only. Okay. Okay, sir. Because suppose he joined in 2019-20, then he's showing the 1920 only. This is 2021. This is 19-20. This is 18-19. Then you show in the corresponding academic year. That is why you have to arrange the offer letters, you have to arrange the scorecards, you have to arrange the NPTEL. Suppose student who passed in 18-19. Student who passed in 18-19, you might have become entrepreneur in 2021. Okay, somebody has started. Just request you to mute the mic, sir.
Sir. Sir, you are showing three academic year. That means if we are submitting the records for 3 academic year, then we will get we will aggregate for 3 years only.
Naturally. No.
If
No,
5 years,
sir.
5 years.
It is based on the marks score. It is based on the marks you scored out of 1000 marks.
Okay, sir.
NBA format is for 1000 marks, sir.
But three consecutive years are sufficient.
Just listen. The total marks are 1000.
Okay.
If you get 600, you will get 3 years. If you get above 750, you will get 6 years.
Oh. Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Not the based on these years. It is based on the marks in all 10 criteria. Putting together all 10 criteria, if you score greater than 600, you will get 3 years. And subjected to the condition in 5th criteria, okay, that I will discuss at the end of the presentation, sir. In the 5th criteria, you must score 40% minimum. In 5th criteria, you must score 40% minimum to qualify for NBA accreditation. And if you are going for 6 years, you have to score more than that. Okay? Because that guidelines are there. That we will discuss at the end of the presentation. Okay, sir. Right? Is it clear? I hope you support.
Clear.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Madam.
Yes, sir. Sir, how can we say that these are the final number of students? Like we have said that the intake, or like in the 3rd year, we have a successful 60 students. So we have, like, judging on the basis of the like backlogs, that these are the 50 students who have cleared with all the backlogs, or because some of the companies allow students to sit in the placement exam with the backlog even. So how can we say that these are the final students? Yes, sir.
You are agreed. One point here. Okay, which company? We are not bothered about the company's rules here. Okay, as per NBA requirement, madam, as per university instructions or university guidelines, students who are promoted to final year, madam.
Okay, sir. Okay, yes, sir.
As per university norms, students who are promoted to final year is only important for us, not the company.
Oh,
As
sir.
per your roll list, as per the number of students in your class, final year class, that numbers we have to take here.
Okay, that could be anyone, like it could be
Yes.
with backlog or without backlog.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Sir, there is one question, sir. I am Gunasekaran from Tamil Nadu.
Sir.
Sir, we got, actually we are offering placement from companies to the students, around 30 students. They are given a list also, but the students only join 20 members in that company. But we have a list of 30 members selected in that particular company. Can you produce that evidence for NBA?
Yes, because on better side, we will show 30 only, no, sir?
Yes, sir.
And because if you don't have the proof of the company selection list, then you will show the ID cards. If you are having the good number of ID cards, you need not show the selection list, vice versa.
Okay, sir.
Okay, which is advantageous to the department, that only we will generally try to present to the committee.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Committee also will liberally consider such cases.
Okay, sir. Because due to some other reasons, the students may go for higher studies or some family background. They are not going to return to job. So that's an issue.
As you mentioned, is a practical thing, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. That is a practical aspect. Therefore, average placement is in most of the institutions. This average placement of P1, P2, P3 may be around 0.7, maybe 0.8 in good colleges.
Okay.
That means this is 40 into 0.7. That means how much you are getting, sir? 28 marks. Out of 40, you are getting 40 marks. If it is 0.8, that means good number of students placed and opted for higher studies, etc. If it is 0.8, average placement index is 0.8, then you will be getting 32 marks out of 40. Okay, that way you can able to score with the number of proofs you are presenting. That determines your marks.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Even
Okay,
evaluator
sir.
also cannot do anything if it is only based on your hard copy evidences presented in each academic year. Please remember, for each
Okay.
academic year.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Then
Okay, sir.
going back
Thank
to the right, thank you. Then going back to the next professional activities. Then professional activities, as you know, it's plays very important role, and these professional activities also contributes for the attainment of some of our COs, POs, and PSOs, as you know, because of some indirect assessment, indirect contribution of these activities will help to improve the attainment, not only the achievement, it help to improve the attainments of these COs, leads to POs and leads to PSOs. Okay, sir. Therefore, here we have to, every department must have at least one professional society, recognized professional society must be there in their department for the last 3 academic years, for which period you are going for MBA accreditation. Because this is one of the perception to the evaluators, it plays a very important role. Then what are the professional societies we can start? The good professional society. Some professional society, if you start, it may not be a valid one, which are recognized. Suppose ISTE New Delhi, okay, is one of the a good professional society, and ASME for mechanical engineering, and IEEE for CSE and IT and electrical and electronic students, and Computer Society of India, and American Society of Civil Engineering, American Society of Civil Engineering, and for other things, as you know. Therefore, the professional societies must be their institution of engineers, okay, and refrigeration chapters and ASHRAE, etc., etc. There are many professional societies are there. Therefore, you must have one professional society and faculty with the members in the professional society, good number of students with professional society, and number of events organized during the last 3 academic years. That is important. Okay, when the NBA committee is about to visit your college, maybe next month, if you start the professional society now, it will not carry any weightage. Therefore, you must have started well in advance these activities, and you must have organized sufficient number of programs by involving all the students, maybe national level activities, state level activities, and students' participation outside the state also carries good number of marks. Institute, you see, the level of activities, quality of engineering events organized, because it is important. Quality, for the namesake, if you organize some program for creation of document, it will not carry weightage, because the visiting expert will observe the data and documents. At you might have organized institutional level activities, state level activities, and national level activities, and international level activities. Okay, these are the important things here. Institute level, state level, national level, and international level activities. Okay, international definitely might be less, and national levels should be there for with these professional societies. Then you have to present the documents like proceedings. Please try to remember, and whenever you organize any professional activity and you create the proceedings, and most of the people, they will try to show some photos. The photos is okay, but will not carry much weightage. Then you create the proceedings of activities, proceedings of the activities of these professional societies. Then it carries weightage. Okay. The next thing is, and is SCAE, Society of Automotive Engineers. Then you might be organizing some professional society activities in the area of automobile and aerospace, etc. That is also very important. And you try to present these professional activities, if any proofs are there, and you can present in the form of a displays and projects in the form of a display, and real-time models can be operated to the visiting committee. And as you know, there is a specified slot mentioned in the during the visit, and that time you can present all your models and displays, charts in the form of flexes. The next important point is publication of technical magazines and newsletters. Okay, that again for the 3 academic years, you have to show the proof. 3 academic years, you have to show the magazines and newsletters. Okay, magazine may be college level. That also you can show. Suppose some computer science department is going for NBA accreditation. Then college is having the magazine for the college level. College level magazine you can present, and newsletter may be department level. This must be at the department level, newsletters. Okay, and that hard copies you have to show. Sir, I am having this soft copy. Can you please see this soft copy of my magazine and newsletters? No, they won't see. You have to show the hard copy evidences of these magazines and newsletters, and it carries good number of marks here. Then you have to show.
Excuse me, sir.
Madam.
Sir, please move to the back slide, previous slide. Sir, please tell about this proceedings of the activities by professional societies. This has to be published somewhere, or within the institute only it will go?
Yeah, within the institute only.
Okay. Okay.
Suppose you might have invited some organized some 2-day program. You might have organized it. You might have invited some 5 experts or 3-4 experts.
Yes.
Okay, they might have given some presentations, etc. And organizing committee, technical committee, students presentation, and guest speaker profiles, and their presentations, etc. You can keep as a record.
Okay, sir. In hard copy.
Yes, that is the record you have to maintain in the form of a proceeding.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, madam. Then the documentary evidences, etc. for this. Then the students' participation, this is important. Here, each item carries marks separately. Within the state, outside the state, and awards received. Carries separate marks. Then you have to be very careful and differentiate and collect the data item wise here. Within the state, you collect separately for 3 years. Outside the state, 3 years you collect separately. And prizes received by the students for the 3 academic years, you present separately here. That is important. Okay, don't club all the things and present separately, because NBA evaluator, while visiting and verifying the documentation, he may not be remembering everything. Therefore, while presenting, it is our job to present separately. Okay, then that will give you a good number of marks in this. Okay, sir, this is this slide is.
This is Harish Kumar from Tamil Nadu. Sir, can we add sports events in the last column you have shown in the?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
100%, sir. That carries a good number of marks.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Participation within the state, participation outside the state.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And coming back to the 5th criteria, and very important criteria for all of us, this is for the faculty members. Faculty criteria, faculty information, and their contributions. And as you know, the general data, as you know, the format of the NBA, highest degree, university, year of attainment of highest qualification, association with the institution, designation, date on which designated as professor. Because why I'm telling is, most of the colleges, they won't fill this particular table properly. Most of the colleges. And NBA will only take this table as a standard data. Based on this only, they will move further. That is why we have to be very, very careful. I don't know, even you can cross-check with your department data, and most of the people, they will confuse with the faculty data of joining. Okay? And data on which they are designated as professor, they will not find the proper dates. In some of the colleges, what happens is, they will be recruited, they will be given some promotion, etc. on the paper, etc. Then faculty may not be remembering, and they may not be giving the sufficient salary, etc. Therefore, and on which date we have to show him as a professor or associate professor, and there will be a lot of confusion in these 2 cases. Okay, you have to be very careful. The date of joining in a particular institution, and on which date you are promoted as a professor and associate professor only, not assistant professor is not required here. promotion to professor and associate professor, because in the next tables that carries marks, number of professors, number of faculty with PhDs carries marks. No? Therefore, here faculty with PhD only will be allowed to become associate and professor. That is why these columns are very important. A year of attaining higher qualification is important. Suppose you might have got the PhD awarded in a particular year 2019, then you have to mention here. Then why it is important here? In the corresponding academic year 2019-20, how many PhD holders are there? In 2018-19, how many PhD holders are there? Therefore, suppose if you say in a, without PhD, if you have promoted some ex-faculty as an associate professor, it is invalid. Sir, I am working for the last 15 years in this college and they have promoted me as professor. Okay, your institution might have promoted him as an associate and professor, but NBA will not consider. NBA will not consider such faculty members as professor or associate professor. They will be treated as only assistant professor only. Then you write your specialization, then write number of research publications in SCI publications only. Okay, Scopus publications, SCI publications only, or elsewhere some standard ASME, etc. Only standard publications only you please try to present to the NBA committee. Other papers they won't consider. Then PhD gain and faculty receiving PhD during the assessment period. This carries a weightage. Good number of marks you will get, and the perception also important here. Good number of marks you will get in the. Suppose some faculty while working in the department, he was awarded PhD degree, that carries marks. Then whether you are currently associated, if it is yes, yes, or otherwise you write no. Then other important thing is the date of living. If you are writing N, then write the date of living, very important here. NBA will see date of joining of in the institution, date of living. Date of joining and date of living is very, very important for NBA. That means whether you worked at least for 2 semesters in a particular department or not, and the corresponding academic year, if you are not there for the 2 semesters, okay, that means if you are not there, if you are there only for 1 semester, full 1 semester, and a few days in a next semester, then you will not be considered in that corresponding academic year. You will not be considered. Therefore, you must be there for 2 semesters in the corresponding academic year. Then only you will be considered as a faculty member during that academic year. That is the important aspect. Therefore, whether you are regular or contractual, the important aspect is here, as I don't know whether you are all regular or contractual faculty, their NBA will treat as, suppose even if you are contractual faculty, whether you are full-time or part-time, they will see. Full-time faculty only will be considered. Only full-time faculty will be considered. Full-time means you are working full-time in the institution, in the department. If you are working part-time, suppose department is having 20 faculty members. Out of 20, 5 faculty are working part-time. Then in the net number of faculty in the department is only 15. Suppose 20 faculty are there in the department, 15 are regular and 5 are full-time, contractual full-time, then 20 will be considered. Okay, these are the simple things. I think you know very well about this, but whatever I know, just for your information, I am explaining this. Then calculating the student faculty ratio, which is very, very important, as you know, and which is one of the determining factor for the particular program to be accredited or not accredited. Then number of students, suppose a particular department offering 2 UG programs and might be offering 2 PG programs, then you add entire data here. Suppose you are offering 18 in PG, second year 18. Suppose 2 are there, 2 into 2, therefore 36, 36. Then 2 UG programs, that means number of students in the second year, number of students in third year, number of students in the final year only. For this, to prove your numbers, because this numbers plays important role to clarify, to calculate the student faculty ratio. Then to substantiate your number of students in the second year, third year, and final year, you have to present to the committee the roll rolls list, roll number of the students with the rolls list. That means your attendance registers. You have to show their results, their rolls list, their attendance registers. Then you can write these numbers here. Okay, the number of UG program, UG1 and UG2, PG.
Sir,
PG1
show the
and
student.
Madam.
Sir, we can show in the roles list, we can show the students list.
Number of students.
Hanji.
Number of students in the particular year.
Yes, sir.
Because this number it plays important role in calculation of student faculty ratio. That is why they will check the exact number of students in the second year, third year, and final year, and actual number of students joined in lateral entry. You see here, total number of students in the department UG. Suppose you have 2 UG programs, UG1 and UG2, and you have 2 PG programs and PG1 and PG2. Okay, madam. The number of here it is not there here. Actual number of students joined in lateral entry. That also you have to add. Actual number only. Suppose sanctioned intake is 6 members. Only suppose, for example, 3 students only have joined. You take only 3 students in the corresponding years. Year 3, suppose year might have joined 4, year might have joined 5. Then you add only this many number of students to the UG students, first year and second year and lateral entry students. Then you add the 18 plus 18. Sanctioned intake only you have to take here. Suppose you have 120 intake. You write 120 only.
One more doubt, sir. In CA1, current academic year, if the student studying in the final year, in the current academic year -1, the same student may be considered for the third year. In the current academic year -2, the same batch may be considered for second year. Yes, sir. Is it correct, sir?
Here it is academic year wise. That is why I told you in the first slide. I told you what is the important aspect. You please switch off your mic, sir.
Okay.
Mute your mic. Then, as I told you in the beginning, this is very, very important. Suppose in academic year 2019-20, 2020-21, 2018-19, most of the institution will do the mistake here. 2020-21, first year, second year, third year, final year, total. 2019 rolls list. You can take first semester. You can take first semester as standard. First year, second year, third year, fourth year. Then you remove. You can neglect the first year here to fill this data. Then 2019-20, second year, third year, and final year total. Then 18-19, second year, third year, and final year total. Here, the sanctioned intake only you have to take here. The sanctioned intake only, plus actual number of lateral entry students here. Sanctioned intake, that is important here. Sanctioned
intake is like fixed 60 or 120. That is
good. That's all.
And lateral entry students, actual admitted lateral entry students.
Exactly.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Only NBA is giving the flexibility to the colleges with regard to the lateral entry students only. Because suppose if you take actual number of students joined in UG engineering program, everybody will get the SFR 10:1 only. Then they will score full marks.
Yes,
okay,
sir. Yes.
And they won't recruit faculty also. If they are allowed to calculate like that, and no colleges will recruit the faculty members if the students are not joining. Okay, madam. So that is the.
Thank you, sir.
The best logic adopted by NBA. Okay, I hope you have understood the calculation of this SFR, which is very important, one of the criteria. The number of faculty members as per the previous table, number of faculty in the department, from this you have to write. Here, excluding first year, you have to write here. You have to write excluding first year, you have to write the number of faculty here. Suppose computer science department is there. Suppose 5 faculty are going for exclusively for first year. You separate them. Then -5. Suppose they have 25 faculty in the computer science department. 5 faculty are taking first year load. Then next number of faculty available for second, third, final year is 20. Then you write 20 only here. Okay, that is very important. Okay, then based on this 20, second, third, final year actual sanctioned intake plus sanctioned intake plus actual lateral entry students, then calculate SFR. Then average of 3 academic years SFR is might be 21.25. Therefore, it is allowed up to 25. It is allowed up to 25. Then you are eligible for NBA accreditation as one of these criteria. Right?
Sir, another question, sir. If one staff he is taking class in one subject he is taking in for first year, and another subject he is taking for second year core department, EC department, and electrical department. So how we can consider them?
Yeah, NBA is not encouraging such cases. That is why we have to be very careful with the number of faculty going. That is why you have to identify some faculty members for first year itself. There is no partial load calculation thing in NBA that was removed. The practice of calculating partial load system was abandoned by the NBA. Then we have to calculate and keep the first year faculty separately. You write it. You prepare based on the load. This many number of faculty are going for first year. That's all. Don't tell these taking first year 1 period, second year 2 periods, final year 3 periods. Not like that. Okay, you might be taking these allowed to take, but you based on that load you divide them and show it to NBA. Okay, sir.
And sir, if a faculty takes in other departments like in electronics or in other departments from our department to other department?
Yeah, that also we can take as our faculty only. Number of our faculty except first year. That's all.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Except first year. If you look at the NBA document, they are asking only for first year only.
Okay, sir. Others will be counted.
Because this suppose their faculty, 2 faculty are taking our subject, our faculty are taking their 1 subject, etc. Therefore, more or less becomes nullified.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That way.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, madam. Then coming back to then how many marks you will get? If your score is very good, then maximum of marks to be given proportionately from maximum of 20 to 10. Then when you will get 20 marks, if the ratio is up to SFR is 15:1. If SFR is 15:1, then you will get full 20 marks. Okay, sir. If your SFR is up to 24.99 or exactly 25, 24.99 or exactly 25, you will get 10. Even if it is 25.01, you will get 0 and you are not eligible for NBA accreditation. You are not eligible for NBA accreditation actually. Okay, when the SFR crosses, then it becomes a difficult thing. Okay? This is the important criteria. Then coming back to the faculty cadre proportion is again important. You need not to maintain a cadre proportion for NBA requirement. It is not a compulsory requirement here. If you maintain, you will score marks. It is well and good. But there is no hard and fast rule to maintain this many professors, this many associate professors, etc. It's not there now. Okay, it was there, but at present it is not there. If it is there, you will score marks. Therefore, AF1 is the actuals and RF is the required faculty. Okay, 1 to 6, 1:2:6 proportions. You have to maintain the cadre proportion. If you maintain this, you will score full marks. Okay, that way. Then here, the important aspect is the number of faculty, like a professor, associate professor must have valid PhD degree. Must have valid PhD degree also important. Why I am using the word valid, you please try to understand, all of you. And the faculty members nowadays might be getting the degrees from some universities. Therefore, that university may be valid, may not be valid. That is why you have to cross check before presenting your data to NBA. Then if you maintain full, then you will get full 25 marks here. Okay, the faculty cadre proportion. Okay. Then next, coming back to the faculty qualifications. Because here faculty qualifications, you have to present the hard copy data of their qualifications. Their PhD degrees you have to present here. PhD hard copy certificates you have to present to the NBA. Okay, PhD certificates you have to present. Okay, then they will check whether this particular university is valid or invalid, etc. They will take care of it. Then you see 2.5 into 10x plus 4y by F. F is the number of faculty required to comply 1:20 faculty students ratio. SF for 1:20 ratio. Then calculate the number of faculty required. Then number of faculty with the PhD X. Okay, number of faculty with MTech. Okay, nowadays it is only MTech. There is no BTech. Okay, sir. Then accordingly you calculate it here. Then faculty retention. This is very, very important. You must maintain above 50% retention rate. Otherwise, you sometimes NBA may reject your accreditation. In most of the colleges, what they will do is faculty will be joining in at the beginning of first semester and leaving at the end of the second semester. Joining again at the beginning of first semester and leaving at the end of the second semester. That means they'll be maintained only for one academic year, maybe of 9 months or 10 months. Then they will get the low retention rate. When you have the low retention rate, there are two disadvantages. You may not be getting the good marks and you may be denied of the NBA accreditation here. You see here, if you get the less than 50% of retention rate, you are getting 0 marks out of 25. Okay, even in SFR, if you do not maintain also, the 20 marks you may be getting 0 there. Right. Then
sir, excuse me, sir, while calculating the retainment of faculties, so we have to check from in the last 3 years. Suppose
yes.
faculty X, so we'll check in the last 3 years whether he is in the institute or not.
Sure, correct. That is why you have to maintain the base year as CAY M2 here. You see here, CAY M2 as base year. With reference to that, you have to calculate.
Yes.
Okay, madam. Then if your percentage is like this 90, 75, 60, then accordingly you are getting the marks.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right, madam.
Sir, in the previous slide, you have mentioned RF1, number of RF1 requirement 1, RF2 requirement 2, RF3 requirement 9. RF1 requirement 1 in the sense number of professors required equal to 1.
One is to ratio, 1 professor to associate professor and 6 assistant professor. General ACT norms.
Okay, sir.
That is just for your idea only.
Okay.
Okay, sir. The next thing is faculty retention. Okay, you have to score, at least you have to score 75%. Then you will get 25 marks. Therefore, always the colleges, they have to retain their faculty members. That is the important aspect. Then innovations by the faculty in teaching and learning, you know very well. Then how many faculty in our department are using? We have the ICT facilities, instruction delivery methods, and methodologies. How we are doing assessment. I think the previous speakers might have discussed about the assessment of our teaching learning for the attainment of COs, etc. Evaluation and inclusive classrooms that lead to effective, efficient, and engaging instructions. Okay. Then, as we have discussed extensively yesterday about the teaching learning processes, and in teaching learning, the use of ICT plays very important role. And perceptionally also, and with reference to the students, with reference to the evaluators and the stakeholders, then when you are using the ICT facilities, that carries a good perception among the stakeholders, right? Then faculty as participants in faculty development training activities, STTPs. Because here, most of the department, they won't maintain the required document. The valid document they have to present to the committee, or in the SAR they have to write it. The participation as faculty development and training activities, or in STTPs, their participation as a participant, participation as a resource person, etc. that you have to present separately. Then accordingly, for each faculty members in this particular table, what you have to do, suppose in your department 25 faculty are there, then you create 25 rows here for each faculty. Then suppose the faculty was there for during these 3 academic years, then give the marks accordingly. You see here how to give the marks, it is very clearly mentioned here. Participation in 2 to 5 days faculty development program, minimum 2 days. Minimum 2 days he has to attend a program. For that particular program, you have to give 3 points. If it is more than 5 days, then give the 5 marks. Suppose X faculty member 1, he has attended, here may be 3 marks, here may be 5 marks, here may be 5 marks. Maximum only. This is only maximum. Okay, you don't write more than this. Then don't write 10 and 6, etc. 3, 5 only for each faculty. Okay, for each academic year. Then accordingly, you write do the sum of this and divide by formula is given here. 0.5 into required number of faculty. What is the required number of faculty here? To comply for the 20:1. Okay. Suppose you have the 60 students intake is there. 60 into 3, 180, 180 by 20. That means you have to divide by 9. RF is the 9. 0.5 into 9 into sum. Okay. Sum is, suppose you might have 20 faculty. 20 into 3 is 60. Suppose everybody has attended 333. Then 25. Now 25 is 75. 75 by 0.5 into 9. Then this is equal to 75 by 4.5, approximately 5. Therefore, you are getting the 15 marks. Is it not? It is limited to 15 marks. You are getting it. Therefore, that means every faculty must have attended some program in the current academic years. Okay, accordingly, you calculate here. Then that way you have to calculate, and you have to keep the proof of each faculty member's participation in these academic years. That way you can able to score good marks. If you present the data, then you can score good marks. If you do not present, then you may not score the marks. Then you have to convince the evaluator that he has genuinely attended the program and show the certificate or email and permission from the HOD or principal, etc. You have to present here. Okay. And then coming back to the research and development.
Sorry, sir. Previous slide. Sorry, sir.
Madam. Madam. Tell me.
Sir, this RF, number of faculty, this SFR is to be taken 20:1 or 25:1?
No, not SFR here. Required number of faculty, RF you have to calculate based on the 20:1. Based on 20:1 number of students. That means for every one faculty for 20 students. Suppose if you have 60 intake, madam. 60 intake by 20. How many faculty required? 3.
Yes, sir.
Second year 3, third year 3, final year 3. Total how many?
9.
9. That is why I have taken 9 here. 0.5 into 9. Okay?
Okay, sir.
4.5 here. 75 by 4.5. I assumed 5 here. Therefore, 75 by 5 is how much? 15. Okay, madam.
Yes.
You might be getting more around 16 or 17 you might be getting here, but the maximum marks limited is 15 only. Then what you have to do, you have to show the proof of every faculty member participation. Then only you will get that many marks. Okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I have 2 doubts in 5.6, sir. In the FTPs, whether it may be AICTE sponsored or self-supported FTPs.
No problem. Anything is okay.
Okay, sir.
AICTE is better. There will not be any argument.
Okay, sir.
Even if it is a self-supported also good. Nothing wrong.
Okay, sir. Sir, so what about the short-term training program not sponsored by AICTE?
No problem.
Even it is 1 day short-term training program?
No, one day is not allowed. No? You see, a minimum is 2 days.
Minimum 2 days?
Minimum 2 days only.
Okay, sir.
Otherwise, it is invalid. You will not get a score.
A short-term training program?
Yes. Anything 1 day is not valid here.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Then, as you know, R&D plays very important role. Then the faculty research publications and PhD guidance faculty receiving PhD during the assessment period is very important here. You please, somebody has started unmuted his mic. Please mute it. Okay, sir. Number of quality publications in referred and SCI journals or Scopus journals or citations, number of books and chapters in ISSN or ISBN. Please you mute your mic, sir. Okay, thank you. Then here, this plays very important role. Suppose 25 faculty in your particular department might have published one good paper per year. Therefore, that 25 papers are sufficient to score good marks here. Suppose 25 faculty might have submitted 2-3 papers in a paid journals, may not fetch good marks. Okay, that is why you have to be very careful while presenting your research publications to the visiting committee here. Okay, sir, number of PhDs guided by faculty you present separately. Number of PhDs awarded you present separately. Then that gives a good impression and you will score marks here. And during the
sir, in referee journals, we can take Scopus indexed also.
Scopus. Yes, very much, very much.
And Web of Science, etc. indexed.
Yes, very much, very much.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then here, coming back to the sponsored research, and here one important point is most of the people they will try to show.
Professor, in the 5.7.1, one doubt. I got ISBN number for one project contest report and technical seminar. I got ISBN number. Shall I include that one in the 5.7.1 category?
Yes, definitely. The proceedings will come.
Thank you.
Yes. Then in the case of sponsored research, most of the private colleges, what they will try to project, because they will not be having any sponsored research projects funded by external agencies like AICT, UGC, DST, etc. But they will try to project, suppose my society of the institution might have sanctioned 10 lakhs during these 3 academic years. They will try to project like this. Then what you have done with these 10 lakhs? Suppose one academic year they might have given 5 lakhs, another academic year 3 lakhs, another third academic year 2 lakhs, then becomes 10 lakhs total. Then you can show this as the fund. But what you have done, what is the real outcome with this sanctioned amount you have to present? Always. So, sir, I have done this research, that research, but my society has sanctioned 10 lakhs rupees during these 3 years. It is good. But you have to present the real outcome of your research. The publications, the contributions by the department, the work done by the department, etc. You have to present. Then only, if it is less than 4 lakhs amount, you are getting 0 marks. Okay, most of the colleges nowadays might be getting funding from the sponsoring agencies, but if it is less than 4 lakhs, you are getting only 0. Then you have to show the documentary evidences of the sanctioned amount to the visiting committee. You can also present this data carefully in the NBA document. Okay, sir. Then coming back to the development activities here.
Excuse me, sir. Yes, sir. One question, sir. Like if you are getting a grant from AICT for organizing an international conference, will that be counted as a funded project, sir?
Yeah, we can show it. No problem. They will be convinced here. But if it is greater than 4 only, you will be getting 1 mark, madam.
Sir, that is if single conference or 2 or 3 conference we are getting in period of 2.
You can add.
We can add that.
Yes, you can add.
Okay, thank you.
You need to check the marks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks.
Nothing wrong here, madam.
Sir, there is one question.
Please.
Sir, in polytechnic level, there is no funding projects. Most of the projects, we cannot get the funding projects.
Exactly. You are correct.
In that case, we are doing consultancy work in our institution for private agencies. Private in the sense government and private sector engineers and other consultancies. So, can we show that consultancy amount for in the R&D pattern portion?
You see 5.7.4 is for consultancy only.
Okay, sir.
Sir, this document, whatever I am presenting, is only for UG engineering, for tier 2 institutions only, exclusively.
Okay. Okay.
Don't compare this for diploma departments.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. There the weightages are very less.
Very less.
Very less. Okay, na, sir. This is only for UG tier 2 only.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this is the, as you asked, consultancy activities. For again consultancy activities, if it is less than 2 lakhs, it is 0. If you are doing consultancy activity from between 2 to 4, total together, put together for 3 years. This is I am talking about put together 3 years. If it is more than 2 lakhs, you will get 1 mark. If it is more than 4 lakhs, 2 marks, etc. Like this. This is not for diploma, only for engineering, sir. And here,
Okay.
the next thing is, here you are carrying the 10 marks for this. Academic research, sponsored research, and the developmental activities, 10 marks are there. Therefore, they will divide accordingly here. In development activities, you see here, product development, research and research laboratories, instructional materials, and working models. Then you please try to create something in this and try to present your departmental strength to score marks in this. Then only you can able to, you will not miss any marks. That is my idea. You may not be missing the marks. A product development, you might be doing something in your workshops or developing the coding, or might have developed some softwares, okay, some web applications, etc. Then you try to present here, then accordingly you can claim some marks. You might have developed some online videos, that is instructional materials. You might have created some working models that can charts, try to prepare and present. Then you can able to score some 5-6 marks in this developmental activities. Okay. The next thing is, right, sir. Then faculty performance and appraisal. This is the very, very important. We call it is FPADs. I told you in the during the students feedback time, we discussed about the FPADs, faculty performance appraisal and development system. Therefore, here I think this is having 30 marks in NBA, 10 marks for the facility. It is having the system is in place. If the FPAD system is in place, it is 10 marks. If the implementation is taking place effectively, it is 20 marks. Then put together 30 marks are there. Then how you have to present the data that is being implemented in a transparent manner, then you will get 20 marks. Therefore, it is very easy for the institution to score good number of marks here. That is why you please try. If it is not there, if this particular system is not there, then you create a good performance appraisal system, and that must be evaluated by the head of the department and the principal. Okay, this is very important, where you can able to score easily 30 marks.
Sir, this appraisal system is to be developed at the level of department or at the
institutional level.
Hanji. Right.
Institutional level.
Yes. Right, sir.
It should be there in the institution.
Sir, sir, in our department, we are submitting a self-appraisal each and every year. I don't have the Xerox copy of my self-appraisal, but the institution has.
Your HOD might be having, your office might be having, no?
Sir, the institution has the self-appraisal, original copy, but I don't have the Xerox copy of all those years.
No, that is confidential, because the comments of the HOD, comments of the principal might be there on this your self-appraisal, no?
Yes, sir.
Therefore, your HOD will present it to the committee.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Your HOD will present to the committee the real assessment.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, na?
Okay.
Okay. Then coming back to the visiting and adjunct and emeritus faculty. Visiting, adjunct and emeritus faculty, I think this is having 10 marks. This is having 10 marks. For facility, 1 mark. There is a provision for the visiting faculty. There is a provision for this faculty is having 1 mark, and if you maintain the visiting experts, visiting faculty, it is 9 marks for the 3 academic years. Okay, it carries 10 marks. Very, very important. It carries 10 marks. And there is a provision in the institution. That means it must be resolved in the board of governors meeting, BOG meeting, board of governors meeting, if it is resolved, or board of management, if it is resolved, there must be a provision in the departments. They can recruit a visiting faculty or adjunct faculty or emeritus faculty, then they will get 1 mark here based on that proof. And if you are maintaining faculties regularly visiting your department, minimum 50 hours per year interaction with adjunct faculty from industry or retired professor, then you have to maintain their timetables, you have to maintain their payment, honorarium payment, or in the form of a proof. You have to present the proof of payment, salary, or might be giving some salary, monthly salary, and you have to show the timetable and how many hours of engagement. If whether it is 50 hours, if it is less than 50 hours, you will not get the marks. And which subject is handling, the course, particular course, and the course feedback. Is it not? Then you have to present all these proofs to the committee. Then for every academic year, you will get 3 marks. Then 3 academic years, 3 into 3, you will get 9 marks. And having the provision in the department or in the college, you will get 1 mark. Then total is 10 marks. Okay. This is about the visiting or adjunct faculty. There is every better scope if you maintain the eminent personalities as emeritus faculty. You will get good number of marks here. Okay, sir. I hope I have cleared the 5th criteria aspects to clear to you. Then we are going to the next 2 important criteria is facilities and technical support. Whatever the facilities, adequate and well-equipped laboratories and technical manpower in the department. That is the one of the important aspect, and it is very easy also. You can able to maintain the adequate faculty to run all the program specific curriculum, 20 marks. Availability of adequate technical supporting staff, 5 marks. Availability of qualified technical supporting staff, 5 marks. That means adequate number and their qualifications. Then in NBA, a format, a good number of formats are given. Then you fill the formats and try to organize some programs for the benefit of the supporting staff. Organize some activities. What activities? Skill development activities. Skill development activities to the technical supporting staff. Technical supporting staff for every academic year. Every academic year you organize programs. Then only you will get good marks here. Then prepare the laboratory wise. As per curriculum you prepare. As per curriculum you prepare the laboratory wise. Curriculum wise, laboratory wise. That means year wise. First year, second year, third year, final year laboratory. And what are the major equipments and major softwares, licensed software available. You prepare it. Then additional facilities created for improving the quality of learning experience in laboratory. This is very important. Suppose if you are going for second time accreditation, then they will see more case. During this, when you are going for second time, during the last 3 years, what you have done, what facilities you have created here. Okay, suppose if you are going first time, other than curriculum, what laboratories do you have? Other than curriculum, what laboratories you have established in the department, you have to present here. Okay, reasons for creating the facility, what purpose you are creating, maybe for UG projects or PG projects or for research activities or for consultancy activities, and its utilization is full or partial or percentage, 80% utilization, 90% utilization, etc. In which areas in which students are expected to have the enhanced learning. Then might be skill development programs might be organizing. Suppose mechanical engineering department is there, you might have the purchase the CNC machines are there, for example. Of course, CNC is part of the curriculum, but still if you are organizing some programs in the area of CNC, robotics, or 3D printing, or etc. in some areas, then you have to write that areas for the skill enhancement or for doing the project works. Okay, whether that particular activity belongs to which PO, PO1 or PO2 or PSO1 or PSO2, you have to write it here properly with proofs. Okay. Then availability of additional facilities you have to write. Facility means including softwares also. Suppose you might have purchased 25 licensed softwares. Okay, then what purpose you are using these 25% licensed software? Then its utilization and effectiveness. Okay, beyond the college hours, and they might be asking when they are utilizing this particular facility means the beyond the college hours, and relevance to POs and PSOs. Then maintenance, ambience is very, very important. At the time of visiting or during a regular time also, you have to maintain a proper ambience in the laboratories with fire safety equipment, etc. Fire safety and first aid kits. First aid kits and fire safety facilities must be there with good ambience in the laboratories. Good ambience. Then it will carry it carries 10 marks. This 6.3 carries 10 marks. Then 6.2 carries 25 marks here. Then 6.1 carries 30 marks. Okay, yeah, 30 marks are there. This is 30 marks. Okay, therefore here it is very easy. We can able to score good marks actually. That is why you have to be very careful in projecting your facilities here. Project laboratory. Nowadays he is asking the project laboratory. Then you have to show a separate facility for the student project, and you can demonstrate the students' projects in this facility, in the project laboratory. What are the facilities available, how it is being utilized. Okay. Then as I told you, safety measures, it carries 10 marks. The safety measures also, you write what are the safety measures are in place. Okay, coming back to the last criteria, 7th criteria, which is very, very important. Based on the all 6 criteria 1 to criteria 6, then what actions you are taking for the continuous improvement of the attainment of the COs, POs, and PSOs. That is important here. Identify the areas of weaknesses in the program based on analysis of evaluation of POs and PSOs attainment levels, and measures identified and implemented to improve POs and PSOs attainment levels for the assessment years. This is the very, very important. As you know, we have calculated for the 3 academic years, CAY, M1, CAY, M2. For 3 academic years, what are the POs? PO1, PO2 up to PO12 and PSO1 and 2. Then for these 3 years, the attainment of POs, attainment levels, I think you might have done in the 3rd criteria, their attainment levels. Suppose the attainment levels have not been met for some POs. This is met, some PO3 is not met, some PO5 not met, PO12 not met, PSO1 okay, like this. Therefore, if certain POs are not met, not reached to the required target levels, okay, your target is 2.1 for a particular PO. PO5 target level is 2.1, but same PO5 you got only 2.0. Then the difference is 0.1. Then it has not met the required target level. Their attainment is only 2/3, 60. This is 70%. This is 67%. Therefore, 3% less. Then what actions you are taking is the perception here. What actions you are initiating to improve the attainment of these unmet program outcomes and PSOs, that actions you have to prove by documentary evidences. That is the continuous improvement aspect here. Okay, in a particular course wise, therefore, suppose I told you PO5, then PO5, how do you go directly to PO5? Then what are the courses which are contributing? Course 1 in first year, course 5 in second year, course 6 in third year, course 3 in final year. All these forces are contributing are correlating to the PO5. Then what you have to do to improve the CO5% by 3%? Then you have to organize the activities in these courses related to activities related to these courses you have to do. Activities related to these courses. For example, mathematics and mathematics, complex algebra is there, and in second year some mechanics of solid is there. In third is one CAD/CAM subject is. In final year one robotics subject is there. Therefore, you have to plan the actions based on these courses to improve the attainment level of PO5. That way, you have to create the documentary evidences. Okay, sir. Then you see here PO1, what are the actions you attend, what is the target level, what is the attainment level, what are the observations you are doing. Then problem analysis, what is your target? Suppose your target is 2.4, but you attend only 2.1. Then deviation is 0.3. Then what are the actions you are taking? What you are initiating in the academic years 1, 2, 3, right? Then the academic audit. Similarly, you have to initiate for all 12 PO1 to PO12. If they all have been met, but it will not be the actual case. At least 2-3 program outcomes generally will not be met by any particular program. That you have to concentrate here. Suppose they have met the required target, and your target levels may be very less, and your target level may be 1.8. For example, some of the institutions, what they will do is, for the sake of attainment, they will put the target level only 1.8, which is only 60%. The NBA will not accept. When the target levels are less, you will score less marks in the third criteria. You will get only 60% marks. Your target level is 2.1, okay, it is 70%. It is reasonable. Your target is 2.4 for some criteria, 80%, very good. Okay, therefore, you have to be judiciously put the target levels based on the average percentage of achievement for the last 2 academic years at least. Then based on that, you can plan it. Then academic audit, actions taken thereof during the period of assessment. Therefore, most of the colleges, they will have the IQAC cell. They will have the IQAC cell. And as we have discussed yesterday about the IQAC cell for the quality assessment of the internal question paper and external evaluation and teaching learning practices, ICT enabled teaching, and all other activities. Therefore, you have to go for the external academic audit. External academic audit. You have to regularly, for every academic year, if you present the external academic audit, then you can able to present the documentary evidences, then you will score good marks. Then improvement in placements, improvement in higher studies, improvement in entrepreneurship. Then you create the table here clearly for the 3 academic years, CAY, CAY M1, CAY M2. Then placements, higher studies, then entrepreneurship. Then you create the data here. Then result. What is the result? Whether any improvement is there, constant is there, or declining is there. You have to present this data to the committee. Then because if it is declining, you will not get any marks. You will get 0 marks only. Okay. Then if it is constant, you may be getting 1 or 2 marks. If it is really improving, you will get good marks. Okay. Yeah. The improvement in the placements is having carries 10 marks here. Then 7.2 is having 10 marks here. Here, that is why you have to be in such a way that you try to present the maximum data, collect the data from the students, then prepare the table and present it accordingly. Okay, sir. Then last one is improvement in quality of students admitted to the program. Okay, nowadays, forget about the quality, the quantity of students admitted is also declining. Okay, I hope you will all agree with this. And the quantity of students admitted to the each and every program, especially the computer courses, other courses, there is a decline in the number of students admitted to this particular program. Then state level, national level entrance test, then the percentage scored in the physics and chemistry, etc. Then lateral entry students, you prepare the students database for the 3 academic years for the comparison purpose. Okay, no? 1, 2, 3. You can write 1, 2, 3. You can write national level, state level, physics, chemistry marks and the lateral entry students and present the data. Then write the outcome here or remarks. Therefore, any improvement is there or not, then you give your concluding remarks. Okay, sir. Then with this, thank you very much for all of you for your patient listening and also for.
Excuse me, sir.
Madam.
Excuse me, sir. Yes, sir, a small question.
Yes.
Sir, as you were telling that FDP of minimum 2 days is to be counted.
Yes.
For example, as I being the HOD of the department, we are organizing a webinar series of 3 or 4 days or 5 days webinar series. That would that be calculated as FDP?
Yes, yes. No, it will not be counted.
Okay.
Because
because it is a consecutive 5 days webinar series, for continuous 5 days we are having the webinars. Can we tell it as FDP? We cannot count it as FDP.
Webinar series. Therefore, if the program is one and continued in second day also, that will be counted generally.
So the name is the common name, and under that there are 5 days consecutive webinars
The
or
common
different.
name is FDP. If you put the name, common name FDP, and the subtitle is webinar series, if you write like that, then it is okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
We have to be very careful while releasing such things here.
Yeah,
if
sir.
The activity continues for second day also, madam.
Yeah.
The logic is, if the activity is continued for second day also, that will be counted.
Okay,
if all
sir.
are independently started fresh, it will not be counted.
Yeah, sir. I got your point. Yeah, I got your point, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir.
Okay. Thank you, madam.
Excuse me, sir.
Madam.
Yes, I have a query also. Sir, FDP sponsored by AICT will be counted or private, or as our institute is private, if we organize any FDP, then it will be counted or not?
Yes, very much counted, madam. Very much counted. You have to show the documentary evidences of such activity have been organized at your institution. That is why I told you, you prepare the proceedings of the events.
Okay, sir. Okay,
proceedings of the events.
Okay, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
madam.
you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, any other?
Respected participants, in case you have any questions, please unmute yourself.
No questions, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Sweta ji.
Okay, so thank you so much, sir, for this session. I'm sure all our participants have gained and learned a lot out of it. And thank you so much for teaming up with us.
Absolutely, ma'am. The session was fabulous. We have gained a lot. Thank you, sir. Thank you for a wonderful session.
Thank you so much, sir.
Madam.
Okay, dear participants, after the break, our session will be on SAR, criteria 8, 9, and 10, and the session will be delivered by Professor Akshay Girdhar, sir, at 2:30. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you one and all. Bye.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Komal ji. Thank you, madam.